Hi, Shea Hulse here. If you don't know me, I am a wife and mom of two, and I help entrepreneurial women master their mindset and build a successful online business without sacrificing time with their loved ones so they can live their dream life. And this week, I'm going to teach you all about why writing romance books is the best for your business and not just because I love them. So if you don't know me, I got started in my entrepreneurial journey a little bit differently. I was laid off when I was pregnant with my second, right after I had my first, because they are only 13 months apart. And it was a very weird time to be laid off. And I got started with network marketing, and that didn't really work out very well. Not just well, it actually did work out fine. It was more that it wasn't suited to my personality, so I was always uncomfortable doing it. And so that's when I learned that when you market yourself online, you can open yourself up to more customers, except I changed what I was selling to my customers. And the reason that I did that was because writing was a little bit more fun for me. And so in the evolution of my business, I actually wrote my first book, Fireflies, which is now available for free for a limited time only. So if you want to grab that, grab the link down below. And the reason it's free is because I'm finally coming out with my second book, Dragonflies, which is the second book in the series. And that's scheduled to come out in March of 2022. I believe March 13th, 2022, I'm going to hit publish on that book. And so what's so exciting about being an entrepreneur and writing books is not just because as an entrepreneur you can kind of, you have a little bit of wiggle room if you know what you're doing, and you can always pivot even if you don't know what you're doing. And there's a little bit more just freedom as long as you're committed and so on and so forth. And so I kind of pivoted more towards writing, and that's why I've been teaching you more about self-publishing in particular, because there's the quote, and I forget who it is now, but I believe, oh no, just lost it again. But if you never learn how to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die, basically. And that sucks, but that is the reality for so many people. Because when you're trading your time for money, you can never really get ahead because you only have so much time. But when you can maximize your time, it can maximize your money. And that's what books really help with doing for me, and it can do it for your business as well. And so when I got started again with blogging and things like that, I kind of stuck with mindset so far. And I do love mindset, and I have still continued to learn more about my mindset in terms of business and in terms of my own personal life. And I do and will continue to share that with you. But when I made the branch over to romance books, it felt like, even to me, like it was a confusing sort of leap. But I'm going to explain to you why it's not and how you can do it for your business too. And of course, if you find some value in this video, please like this video, share it with somebody that would find some value in it as well, and be sure to subscribe for more. So when I got started with writing my first book, it really was just a labor of love. I didn't know if I was going to even use my real name or if I was going to use a pen name or what. But talking about mindset with romance books in particular, I'm just going to talk about romance books today. Of course, you could write any kind of book that you want, but with romance books in particular, there's so many different tropes you can do. So, there's a lot. I'm not even going to get into it. There's, enemies to lovers, and there's friends to lovers, and there's, I don't know, neighbors to lovers. I don't know. Just Google it. There's like an insane amount. There's like harems and reverse harems, and my goodness, there's a lot. And I've read a lot of those books. And so that is actually like the number one thing right there, is that there are a ton of romance readers. So what does that mean for you and your business? So if there are a ton of customers, you have a lot more people to market to, right? And that's great. So don't market to all romance readers. You can, market specifically to the people that are going to be in your trope. So you want to continue to sort of niche down so that you know exactly who it is that you're speaking to when you're marketing your book and while you're writing your book. But there are a ton of romance readers, which leads me to the second tip here, which is that Their romance readers are such prolific readers. They don't really care who the author is. They care if it's a good book. So that helps you, again, because you are going to be able to get someone to read your book, even though you are a nobody, no-name author, first-time author, because romance readers are a little less picky about who the author is. They just want to read a good book because they read lots of them. Which leads me to the next one, which is that romance is the number one most profitable book genre out of like all of the categories, with $1.44 billion. And so why is that? It's a couple of things. Not only are there a ton of readers, there's also a ton of writers, to meet the demand there. But you can also maybe make the books a little bit more expensive sometimes, and they're still going to read just a ton of them. So even if it's a 99-cent ebook, if 10 million people buy it, it's still $10 million. Where if there's, a $15 self-help book, but there's only 5 million readers, or 500,000 readers, I don't know, do the math, but you understand what I mean there? So you can charge a little bit more, but there's still just a ton of people that read those books. Even if you charge nothing, you could still make a lot with it. The next thing is that it adds authority. So when I was thinking about what was missing in my own business, I was thinking about how do I kind of make that leap? There's like dabbling. I think that it's important in the beginning of your business in particular to dabble. See what works, see what doesn't. Stick with what's working for you and for your business. Even if things are uncomfortable, but they're working for your business, stick with it unless you really desperately hate it. So even doing videos like this was not extremely comfortable to me. It's still not extremely comfortable. I'm getting more comfortable with it. But in particular, getting the quality type of things that I need for video being better has helped, and it helped my business a lot, and it's really not that bad. Where Clubhouse for me would work great, except I have 2 kids that are 2 and 1, and have you ever have been around a toddler? They literally ask a question every 30 seconds, or they just need something. So Clubhouse really wasn't working for me. So actually my kids are usually babysat when I do these videos because I can't really be around them because they just talk all the time. So figure out what works for your business. Figure out what doesn't work for your business. But what I needed for my business was more authority. So I had all of this content, but I was kind of missing that key component. Okay, so she talks a lot. So what? So a book kind of gave me that authority that I needed, not just for my business, but I've even seen it in my own personal life. People are like, okay, great, so you talk on social media. Okay, how is that a business? And then once I came out with my book, they're like, oh, okay. So it's true though. So think about what you need for your business, and a book is a great way to add authority. And yes, with giving yourself, if you have an established business, right, and you know that you need authority, and you want to write a book, and maybe like myself, you weren't totally sold on writing a self-help book. There's so many different tropes, like I said, in romance novels and books that you can kind of figure out how you can integrate it into your business. So my romance books are sort of inspirational fantasy, paranormal romance books, which does kind of coincide with my book. It's all about discovering your, true potential, and how did you get there, and how can you do it, and what is the end result. That's kind of my book in a nutshell, and my business in a nutshell. Taking, you working your 9 to 5, unsure of how you could possibly ever make it in entrepreneurship, and just finding the courage and the tools necessary to break free from it. That's kind of the same way with my book, except it's sold in a much more fun way, because that is the fun of romance books. Oh, and that is the final tip, because it's so much fun. So please, just in your business and in life, just remember that when you are connected to joy, then all things kind of go more smoothly and more easily. And that is the number one thing that Gabby Bernstein always says. When you're connected to joy, when you lean into joy, then all of the obstacles kind of fall away, because like sort of attracts like. So when you're constantly in a negative state, you're going to attract negative things. But when you're in a positive state, you can attract more positive things. So writing romance books was an extremely positive experience for me. That's why I love sharing it with you. And that's why I'm encouraging you to do it as well. So please, please, please be sure to go grab my free book, Fireflies, that is available for free for a limited time only. And keep your eye out for my book, Dragonflies. You can get on my email list. If you grab my self-publishing toolkit, that will get you on my email list, and you'll be up to date on all of the information on my books, as well as getting an awesome little toolkit that will show you step-by-step how to format your book, how to upload it onto KDP, how to, what tags to use, how to get it, so that you don't really need to market it. You can depend on the SEO of it, and so on and so forth. So thank you for watching. Again, be sure to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.